Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is thandaxaba. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a live stream video. It's like a replay really that you'll be watching. I had this live stream on Sunday with a beautiful guest, Chelsea Miller, and we were talking about homeschool curriculum. So I have these live streams every Sunday at 4 p.m. If you want to join, please make sure that you follow me on social media. I'll leave all my links in the description box. Enjoy. Remember to subscribe, okay?
Hi,
Bye.
Q Interior and Construction. Hi. Bonge Loves Plants. Hi. Senamile. Sipuseni. Hello. Half a dozen family. Hi. Hi guys. Hi, we are ready to start. I'm just checking audio. If you can hear me, just type I love Thanda. Okay, if you can hear me, type I love Thanda. So if you can hear me, I want to see you typing I love Thanda. Even if you don't mean it, just type it. I'm waiting to see I love Thanda, and then I will know that you guys can hear me that side. Hi, mommy. Half a dozen families saying hi, mommy. But I'm waiting for I love Thanda. Guys, just type I love Thanda. I'm waiting for... Yeah, there we go. I love Thanda. There we go. So people can hear me. Oh my gosh. Hi, guys. Welcome to this live. I really appreciate you. I love Thanda. I see that live Thanda coming in. I greet you all and I welcome you to this live. Firstly, I want to apologize. I'm so sorry. I was ready to go live with Chelsea and then I just had problems after problems, so I couldn't go live at 4 and then we decided to push it to 5 o'clock. So I'm going to invite our guest just now so that we can talk and you guys will be seeing her beautiful face as we speak. Today's topic is homeschool curriculum. Yes. So I'm going to invite Chelsea just now. Keep on typing, I love Thanda. Okay. Let me invite. Okay, I see you all. Hi guys, wave if you can hear me. You type I love Thanda. And then we are connecting to Chelsea.
Hello.
Hi Chelsea. Hi, how are you?
Hi, fine and you?
I'm good, Chelsea.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Chelsea, for being so patient with me for the past hour. We've been waiting to go live, but it's finally happening. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Okay, guys. I'm also excited. A lot of people are excited for this topic, so it's going to be a very interesting one. Guys, if you're new, hi, my name is thandaxaba. I am a homeschooling mama with 5 kids. I share my journey here on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I'm thandaxaba on YouTube, thandaxaba on Facebook, Thanda_Mrs. X. It's Thanda_Mrs_X here on Instagram, this account where you're watching this live. And then I'm also on TikTok as thandaxaba. And yeah, so today I have a special guest. Today we're talking about homeschool curriculum. And this is one topic that most people have been sending me messages about, and it's the biggest concern. Even if it's not your first year of homeschooling, it's like one of those things like, oh, it's scary. Oh, am I doing the right thing for my child? So today we're talking about homeschool curriculum. I have a beautiful lady here, my sister Chelsea. She's here with us. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for joining us. So she will help us. It's a pleasure. I'm very happy to have you. So she will help us unpack this topic. Chelsea is a creative soul. She has 2 beautiful daughters, guys. Like, if you think she's beautiful, imagine that times 2. She has 2 beautiful daughters who are 10 and 8. 10 and 8. Yes, they're 10 and 8, and they are doing grade 5 and grade 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're a homeschooling family and they're based here in South Africa, which is cool. So she'll be sharing her experience with us when it comes to homeschool curriculum and also answering most of your questions that you guys sent. Also, Chelsea has been homeschooling since 2014, and I think, Chelsea, that is amazing. Like, that's just amazing. You've been homeschooling for so long, and you seem to be very passionate about it.
Yes,
Do you want to
really
just
love it.
greet us? And
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored to be here, and I love your crown.
Thank you.
It's very cool. You need to wear the crown every time.
Yeah, you have to. How can you be the queen without the crown? You know, so every
Everyone
queen.
needs to know.
Thanks, Chelsea.
I love
Thanks. So I think we'll just jump straight into it, Chelsea.
Okay. We can
Yes. So Chelsea, a lot of people are concerned and they don't know. Someone actually doesn't know like what is a curriculum. And I remember when I started homeschooling, I myself was like, okay, so what is a curriculum? What is a homeschool curriculum? Where do I get it? Do I go to the Department of Education? Like you people have a lot of questions. So but let's start with what is a homeschool curriculum?
Okay. I feel like it's a bit of a difficult question because there's so many different things that it could be. It could be like your standard, school in a box curriculum where you just get all your textbooks and that's the curriculum for the year all laid out for you. Or it could be like you don't do that and you go with like a whole Montessori approach. So there's like so many different ways you can go. And I'm not sure if by curriculum it means like that whole school in the box, I'm following Cambridge, I'm following this, or if it encompasses all those different approaches, the Charlotte Mason or all those different things. So I'm not sure. What I do think, because it is overwhelming when you decide to homeschool, you go onto Google and you type in there, homeschooling options.
Yeah.
And there's like a million different things that pop up. And everyone you speak to is doing something different. So it's a big thing. And I don't think that we decide to homeschool because, oh no, that looks easy. Let's go do that, just like on a whim. I think we all spend a lot of time researching and looking at the different things and seeing what's out there. But there are so many curriculums and options. So it is a little bit scary.
It is. I think we'll get to that where you'll tell us more, especially as South Africans, because someone might be thinking, I'm in South Africa, can I just use anything that is not from here? But I think we're going to get to that. So now, Chelsea, if a parent has a child or children and now they want to homeschool their kids, how do they know like what to teach them? Like, let's first look at children below the child, or what you call the school going age. So children 6 years and under. How does the parent know what to teach that person?
Okay, well, first of all, I feel like parents are natural teachers. We start teaching our kids pretty much from the minute that we have birthed them.
I believe that too.
And we just do it naturally. We follow their interests as they start to sit up. We know that we need to stimulate them and provide them with toys, and we just do that naturally, and also by seeing what other people do around us. But I think for me, when I decided to actually physically start schooling my daughter, when she was 3, I didn't want to send her to preschool. So I went onto Pinterest and I would gather all these ideas, what all these other moms are doing with their kids. We're learning fire trucks this week. And then we make a craft. And but then I wasn't sure, are we covering everything? So what I did was I just typed into Google, what should a kid be able to do by age 3? And you'll find many, many lists of developmental milestones and the kind of skills that they should have been able to do at that age, which I found very helpful. Obviously, though, kids are all unique and different. And I used it more as like a guideline of where we're heading to. So if by age 4 they should be able to use scissors, for example, to cut on a straight line, and my child wasn't quite there yet, it wasn't a huge deal for me because we're working on it, we're getting there. So while those developmental age guidelines are nice to have, I printed all the little lists and we would tick it off. It's also important to remember that it's something we're working towards. They don't have to perfect it at a particular time. But I think that answers the question, like, if you're nervous of, is my child on the right track? Are we getting everywhere where we should go? It's nice to have that kind of like, this is the average.
Yes.
This is what most children at 5 should be able to do. And I've done that for all my kids for the grades as they've gone up. We've done like at the beginning of the grade, you can download little tests, you know, grade 1 entry-level tests, just to see if they're coping with that level.
Yeah.
So,
No, I like that, Chelsea. I like the fact that you're saying as parents, we know like how to teach our kids. You know, before we can even go out there, you already see that your child is doing this or your child is interested in this, and you already want to help them develop that skill. So I like that you take the same approach when it comes to teaching them, because you've been teaching them ever since they were born. Just that now. Yeah, and from the when they were born, giving them toys to hold and things to play around with. So I like that. Yes, talking to them and singing to them and reading to them. So you've been doing that as a parent. So I like that approach really. But now I think for someone with a child who's like 6 years old and now all their peers are starting to go, that's when you kind of feel the pressure. You know, you're like, okay, so now, am I really sure? Do I really want to keep my child at home? Do I really want to continue with home education, or I need to send my child off to school? So if you have a child now who's 6 years and above, and you just don't know, like, how do you know what to teach the child?
So, well, for me, because, you know, now it's 6, it's probably like going into grade 1, grade R, grade 1. You could always just go and get like a little list of, this is what kids do in grade 1 in school or in grade R, you know. Even schools have them on their websites. This is what we'll cover this year. And you can print that out and see for yourself, okay, ball skills, they have to do this, they have to start counting, and it'll all be there available for you. Or if you're one of those that wants one of those box curriculums where you order your box of books, there'll be this lovely little guide that tells you day by day exactly what to do. And those are actually really nice for peace of mind, because you don't have to worry that you're not covering anything. Someone has sent it all to you, which is very nice. But I think as parents also, we naturally worry that maybe we're missing something. Which is why I think it's nice to have the option to just like have a look where everyone else is, you know, just get a little list of what kids are supposed to do by the end of grade 1 and just work towards that a little bit.
So it's like you already have like a goal in mind that by the end of the year, these are the skills I want my child to accomplish.
Yes.
And now, as South Africans, for most of us, I think, to be honest, the Black community, home education is still not so common because we haven't seen it as much. We haven't seen more and more families doing it. It's only starting now, you know. So for South Africans, what options are they? Like, when it comes to, like you were saying that you could look at the guide and saying, this is what maybe a child at this age, these are the skills they need to gain, or maybe in this grade, this is what they need to achieve. What options, like practical options now for South Africans, that are they, like curriculum options, guidelines?
So for me, what I did when we first started, my child was 3. I was just doing unit studies. I would be like, okay, this week we're learning about frogs, and I'd go onto Pinterest and we'd get all the counting frogs and doing this. And but then when it was serious school, grade R, I thought, okay, you know, I'm not a teacher. I don't know what I'm supposed to be teaching her. So we used Brainline for that first year. It's just a curriculum provider in South Africa. There are a lot of curriculum providers. And basically you just order from them. A big box arrives with all your books and a nice little guide that tells you what to do every day. And that's nice for peace of mind, and it's easy for the homeschool mom because everything's there. You just have to read what we're doing today, and then, you know, you can add in all the fun stuff as well. So yeah, you just have to be careful that you pick one that works for your family. So Brainline didn't work for us.
That's another thing. Like, that's the next question. How do you choose the right one? Like, how do you choose the right one?
So you need to, as much as you can, research and speak to people who've used it. I thought that would be perfect for us, and then it wasn't. And then I found out later it's a CAPS issue. We are not CAPS people in my family. It just didn't make sense to me, the way they set out the curriculum. And the math especially, my daughter and I would both cry in the math lessons. And that's when I realized, okay, maybe this isn't working for us.
What are you crying?
Everybody was crying, everybody.
Wow.
So for me personally, I've changed so many times, and I think you just don't be scared to change. It's not like you're admitting defeat. You're just trying to figure out what fits best with your family. So we did Brainline for 1 year, and then I was defeated from home box curriculums for a while. So I thought,
you cried a lot in that year.
I'll just do it myself. And I got the Singapore math books, because you can just go into P&A or online and you can just buy textbooks. And
so you say you got Singapore math.
Singapore math was amazing.
And that's not South African?
No, but there are South African people that bring it in.
Yes, a curriculum from other countries. Is that what you're saying to us? Yay!
Definitely. Singapore math is so amazing, especially if you want your child to eventually go into Cambridge. It's a very similar kind of math structure, very not CAPS. So it's more So we did that, and then we changed completely over to Cambridge now. So we just order Cambridge textbooks. They're imported, and we work through them, and the teacher's guides are absolutely brilliant. They tell you exactly what to do, what extra stuff you can do. They explain it to the parent, to the teacher, very, very well, so that you feel confident to teach it to your child. You know exactly what to say to the child to make it interesting for them. So we really are loving Cambridge. And there are even, we have our online curriculums. We've got Cambridge Learn, where you will buy the textbooks for your kid, and then they can get lessons online based off those textbooks. So there's abundant options for us now. Thank goodness. I think Corona actually really helped us as homeschoolers with that. Unfortunately, it's not a nice thing to say, but before Corona, it was not a thing that a lot of people even considered.
True.
They didn't consider it to be legitimate almost.
No, true.
But
very
then,
true.
And then after COVID, we've seen this rise in online schooling, online homeschooling. It's like a
You're right. Before Corona, people thought, homeschoolers were weird people, weird families with their weird kids, and But
Although
thanks.
to be honest, online school and homeschool, it's a little different. Traditional homeschool is the mother sitting and teaching the mother or the father, whoever's doing the lessons, sitting and teaching the kids from the books. And now with the online school, there's teachers and everything online doing the teaching. So it is different. Obviously, still the parents are involved in making sure the kids are doing what they want to do. But I think, it's important
at home
for the families to just know what is going to work for them and what they feel comfortable with. Because for some people, they like the idea of having an institution behind them. So we'll use Clonard or ACE or one of these big homeschool institution providers or curriculum providers, because there's a big institution behind us that are, marking our tests and telling us we're doing it right. And that's a nice peace of mind that people, some people really need that. And then there's also like your unschoolers or your more relaxed homeschoolers who are like, well, this week we're just going to do nature studies and learn outside.
I'm very fascinated about it. I think we'll get to that. But you mentioned a number of things that I think are so important to note, that you as South African family can actually use a curriculum from other countries, which is great. So, and you also said that if the curriculum is not working for your family, you can change it. That's like amazing. So it's not like, like sending a child to school and then it's like you're sending the child to a certain school. It's not that easy the following year to change the schools again. The other year you're changing schools again.
Yes.
So home education, it sounds like it's a bit flexible.
You have the room
to change whenever you feel you're not copying. Also, you also mentioned that you can do your research, and I think personally that's what I did, like researching different curriculum. But I still feel even now that it's not really easy to know how the curriculum will perform for your family unless you've used it, and unfortunately they can't send you like free sample. Try this and then
That's true. It's very true. And some of them are expensive, so it is.
That's the thing. Some of them are expensive, but now I guess it's like you have to weigh in those options. Like, do I just go and buy it and then I see if it's working for my family? Because maybe what works for your family might not work for my family, and maybe what's working for my family might not work for your family. So I think, but I think you know what? I think I like what you're saying, that we don't have to feel boxed. We don't have to feel like I have to stick to this. I've already started maybe with caps that I have to do all the way to matric. I can decide to choose. I can decide to change and say, now maybe I want to follow this route, and I can still do that. I think I love that so much about education.
I saw a question earlier about if you can use more than one curriculum in a year. And I definitely know some homeschool families who use the ACE program as their basis, and then they use Cambridge, the Hodder Cambridge books, like as extra. So you can definitely do that, and you can mix and match. You can use Singapore Math, Cambridge English. You can figure out what works for you, and it does take a bit of time, unfortunately, especially if you're new to the whole thing. I mean, for us, I feel like we finally know what we like now. And we started like 8 years ago.
It's just taken you years to discover that, I like also, Chelsea, with different kids, like you have your daughters, I'm sure they're not the same because they're not the same person. So the way maybe they learn, the way they do things is not the same. Because with my daughter, last year I had my twins were in grade 2 and my daughter, my 5-year-old, was in grade R. And I discovered a lot of things about them, throughout the year. And I saw that what's working for my twins is not necessarily going to work for my second born. So, like that flexibility I like, that you can change. One child can use this curriculum and then another child can use another one, depending on what's working for them. And that's great. That's great to know. So now, if you feel like you've made a mistake, I know you've said that you can always change. Can I change in the middle of the year? Like I feel like I chose the wrong curriculum and now I see it's not working for our family. Is that an option for me?
So like for us, we bought that whole, I'm not saying anything bad against
Yes,
Brainline.
it's for your family.
I'm sorry. For a lot of people, it works for them. But like when we did Brainline for grade R, I tried to persevere for as long as I could with it, but it just wasn't working. And I didn't want to go and buy a whole new curriculum mid-year. So that's when I started introducing just like unit studies and things that I've seen on Pinterest and worksheets and that, just to get us to grade 1 where we would start a new curriculum. But I think you can definitely, if it's not working for you, maybe it's better to just stop, try sell those books and just buy something new and try it. And another point I wanted to make, the homeschooling community, once you find one in your area, there's such supportive people. And a lot of women, when I first started, a lot of women in my area would invite me to their homes to come and look at their books and see what they were doing. And that's also something that's quite nice, to actually physically go in and have a look at what people are doing.
I would love I would love
yeah, if you can find one of those WhatsApp groups of the mommy homeschoolers in your area, it's an amazing thing to have. So
no, I love that, because that will be so great to see it before you can actually patch
physically page through and look.
Yeah. It's very nice to like flip through, then you see, oh, okay, this will work, this might work, and go ahead and make it this
hopefully.
And then Chelsea, well, earlier on you mentioned that other families decide to don't use any curriculum.
Yes.
So how does that work? I know maybe that's not the routes that you guys are following, but how does, in your understanding, how does that work? Like unschooling, how does it work?
So I'm not actually 100% sure on unschooling. I've heard unschooling thrown around. I'm not 100% sure on it. I know that there's a lot of other approaches. So you have your classical approaches. I did make notes.
Okay.
So, you know, your biblical classical studies, like the Well-Trained Mind or ACE, it's very rooted in religion. And so that's one way to go. And then there's also your boxed curriculums that we discussed already. There's so many providers in South Africa. Clonard, what are some of the others? Impact. But then you have like your Montessori people, and Montessori is amazing. I've definitely used a lot of their, especially in preschool, when you go on Pinterest, I've used a lot of their like beautiful practices that they do with the children. And if you go and you buy like Montessori books and guides for parents, it's a whole lifestyle, and you can actually teach your children using that. Almost like that would be your curriculum, because Maria Montessori wrote all these books from like birth up to whatever age. And I've noticed a lot more lately, a lot of the people that I've been following, the overseas people mostly, going into a lot of detail on their Montessori lessons. And it actually is a really interesting thing. It's something that I want to learn a little bit more about. Although I feel like maybe it's too late for us now that we're in our workbooks and our structure.
Maybe it's never too late. I also I'm a big fan of Montessori, and I like you're saying, like I love the way Maria Montessori looked at how children develop, you know. So and it does, even if you're saying, it's not to say that you will be a Montessori family, but just to learn more about it, and you can get to understand your child's development stages better, and also how you can support them. And like you're saying with preschool, like the activities that you can do, and so I also do love that approach.
Beautiful.
I think
there's also what's the other one? Oh, Charlotte Mason as well. It's very similar kind of thing with their books. And then the unit studies, we used unit studies for preschool, where it's basically you just say, you know, we're learning weather this week and we're learning this next week. And then everything that you do, your literature, your math, everything is now related to the theme. which is nice for preschool. I think a lot of people do that for preschool.
I think that's interesting for a child, hey?
Yeah, and then you can just have, like most of us, I think, are eclectic. We will use like, okay, I've got my Cambridge books. We're doing that for math and science and English. For art, we just do what we feel like doing.
That's nice.
And then,
that's
like
nice.
for geography, we'll just go on Pinterest and see what looks interesting. And like following our children's interests and the seasons and what's happening in your life. If you're going on a beach holiday soon, you can add in a little bit of nature studies about like the ocean. So I think that's what's amazing about homeschool, is that we are so flexible. And everything is school. Everything is school. We're going to go get donuts tomorrow. So it's we're going to ask them to show us how they make the donuts. We are learning.
Oh, that's nice, eh? And then we're also going to count money when we pay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we're going to count them. But I like that, and that is so true, because the way you look at life when you're homeschooling, it changes. Like, well, for me, it really did change. There was a massive, like, the way I thought about everything kind of changed, because now you want to use the opportunity as a learning opportunity, of which
It's
maybe
amazing.
if you're child going to school, you might relax a little bit, but when you're homeschooling, every opportunity you want to use it to somehow help your child learn something. When you were talking, you reminded me, you said you are incredibly blessed to have the opportunity to homeschool and to create a simple, happy life, but also one that is full of adventure and learning.
Yes.
When that I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's our goal for this year, is to first of all simplify, because I feel like we do too much just because we're the parent and we want these children to have the best, so we do a lot. So simplifying was a huge thing for me. We don't have to do everything in 1 year. And then also just to have more fun. We don't have to sit in our schoolroom and fill in books the whole morning. We can go for like a little walk and go and explore, and I think it's
that's nice. That's
an adventurous lifestyle.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Hey, that's very nice. It's actually one of my goals for this year. I wanna be out more with my kids, and I love that. Like, you can use any opportunity as a learning opportunity. So that's nice. I think I wanna go quickly through the comments, guys. Hi, we see you all who are waving. Bayanda is waving. Interior and construction design. Bongi love plants waving. Senamile waving. Half a dozen family waving. Shannon waving. Learning. Okay, that's you. And hi, learning. Hi, half a dozen family. Hi, hello. Hi guys, I see you all. I love Tanda. I love Tanda. Yes, we were saying I love Tanda. If you can hear me, I love Tanda. And there was a question. I think we answered one, but I think there were two questions that came in. Palesa, hi, she's waving. I love Tanda. Ranzu, 29, Cluricious, Mrs. Mommy, hello guys. Kelly, hello. Zoonomics, hi guys. Board Game South Africa. Kohala Mapaga Day, hi. Okay, so we did answer this question saying, is it possible to use more than one curriculum? Yes, we've answered that, and the answer is yes, depending on what you want to do. One girl's design is waving. Hello, Dogozo. Hi, Dogozo is laughing. Dogozo is saying my confirmation I needed. Yay. I think from what you were saying about the curriculums, that's when she posted this. And then she's also saying, I get you, ladies. This is so informative. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. If you're finding value in these talks, we're not done. We still have a few more questions to cover. Show 24 is waving. Hello. Lindy is waving. Hi, Lindy. Snotando is waving. Our blessed family, our blessed homeschool is waving. Hi, sis. And then she's saying, our blessed homeschool saying, true, everything is school. Yes, everything is school. Like, let's go buy donuts. Let's go buy ice cream.
Oh, exactly. We're going to go geography because we're going to get to the shop. Directions.
Yes. Actually, this whole life, you learn about everything around you. You can use it as an opportunity to learn.
I always say how now that I'm homeschooling, like this whole journey with my children, I'm learning everything again and more.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I feel like I didn't pick up any of this stuff.
I
all
know.
Of a sudden now I'm like, this is so cool. I didn't know. I didn't know that all the times tables were related to each other. No one told me that. It's like all this like new stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's so true. That's so true. And sometimes I'm shocked that my 5-year-old is learning about these things. I'm like, I didn't know that.
I didn't learn that stuff. Yeah.
So it's a beautiful
opportunity for
everyone.
Us. Yes.
For everyone. So I think I always say that when you are homeschooling, the whole family is at school. Like everyone is learning something every day, and the more you allow yourself to learn and to, learn, you can even learn from your own kids. You might think you're an adult, sometimes they will teach you. That's nice.
Definitely.
Now I'm going to move over. We've answered all these questions. Now, Chelsea, when you were getting started, like, what were some of your concerns? I know there were so many concerns. Like, there are so many concerns that you might have when you're getting started with homeschooling. But what were your highlights? Some of your concerns that you had?
One of the biggest ones was, am I doing enough? Am I going to be enough for my child? Like, I mean, I'm not a teacher. I wasn't trained to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I studied other things, but then, I gained confidence with her. I mean, she was only 3. It wasn't like I was starting out with grade 1 straight away. So we eased into it. She was 3. I was like, well, if it doesn't work out, we can go to preschool again next year.
Yeah.
But I gained confidence actually just seeing, oh my word, after a month, I've been doing these books, these like little reading books with the letters, ABCs, and now my child can do that. I did that. I taught her that.
Wow.
And you realize that, you actually can. You can do it. So it's just, you are enough. You can do it. And okay, I was also, everyone I spoke to at the time, because this was 8 years ago, and everyone that I spoke to about it was like, no, you can't homeschool your child because they won't be socialized. That's the first thing. Everyone always says to you, how will they be social? And then you have to remind people that we don't lock them in the house all day.
Exactly.
We go outside and there's people there. And we live in a complex and there's kids around, but even if it wasn't, even if you're on a farm or wherever, you drive out, you take your kids places, they speak to other people, they interact, there's extra lessons. I'm sure all of us are taking our kids to extra lessons, swimming and dancing, and they're socializing. So that was a thing that I realized that early on. My kid is very social. She's more social than I am. I don't really love. I'm not an extrovert, but my child will just go talk to anyone. So those were the main things for me. And
Chelsea, those concerns are. I think they are so common with most parents who want to start this journey. Like we doubt ourselves. I think. Same thing with me. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not a teacher. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. And we also, like, I think you mentioned earlier that we want to give our kids the best, best everything, best education. best life experience, best everything. So now thinking of homeschooling them, you're thinking, am I not disadvantaging my kids? So it is a big concern for most parents. But it's also nice to hear from someone who's been doing it for 8 years, and you also had similar concerns at the beginning, and now you later on realize that no, you can do this, you are enough, you can actually do this thing, and your child will socialize. You're not gonna live under a cave or under a rock. Now we're still gonna see people out there. They're gonna play, they're gonna be kids, you're gonna take them to the places, so I like that. I think you're saying it is actually giving me hope, because you've been doing this thing for some time. So I'm like, okay.
And I think the more you homeschool, the more you meet more homeschoolers, and you speak to them and you see their kids. And on the whole, the homeschool kids that I know and I've met, they're lovely kids. They're well-rounded. They speak respectfully. They can speak to adults and children. They, they're great kids, and they're smart and they're learning. So it's not like we're raising these strange little children that are not going to be able to function in the real world. So I think that's a nice thing to be able to see that.
That's very nice. We actually last week had a talk about socialization, and the guest I have also mentioned that when you homeschool, your child can interact with older people and with the people around their age, which is great because they can talk to adults and they can also play with kids their own age. That's great. And then Chelsea, how do you handle negative criticism around homeschool matters?
So I think over time you figure it out. Personally, I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a people pleaser. I don't like to disappoint people, and I'm not good with criticism. So at first it can be really hurtful, especially because it's your friends and your family that are saying things to you, and maybe they don't mean it. It's a thoughtless comment that will come out, and it can be very hurtful. And I remember in the beginning I would end up in tears sometimes because someone had said something, and now I'm doubting myself. I'm thinking, am I doing something that's going to negatively affect my child? And then I'd rush home, and my A-type personality would get onto Google, and I'd quickly check, like, is my child going to be able to get into university? She's homeschooled. And then, and then panic. And then I think over the years, eventually, you hear all the comments, and you research, and you find out for yourself that it's okay. My child will be accepted. Harvard University accepts homeschooled children. That's good enough for me. And eventually you've heard all the comments, you've done your own research, and if you're happy with in yourself and in your decision, then eventually the comments just start falling on deaf ears. So you develop a thick skin, I think, in terms of that. But at first it is a little bit difficult.
No, I like that. Chelsea, what I tell new homeschoolers is that some people, you don't have to tell them right away that you want to homeschool your kids.
Yes.
Certain people will be against the idea, or maybe they'll have something negative to say, so if you feel like you're not ready to deal with that, rather don't. You don't really have to tell the whole world that you're homeschooling.
When you spoke about this last week, it was such an aha moment for me, and I wish that I'd known that back then. You can keep it to yourself and build up your confidence first. Because people do, especially your loved ones, they don't mean to, but they can tear you down with a thoughtless comment or with criticisms. So I love that when you spoke about it. I watched your live on YouTube this week.
Nice.
It was so awesome.
Nice.
And when you said that, when you discussed that last week, I was like, that's amazing. Yes, we don't have to share it with people who we think might not get it. So,
I was actually going through last year. I think I did a video last year. I was just going through, looking back at all the things that I faced that was so unnecessary, you know. And I was like, I wish I didn't tell that person. There was really no point of me telling that person that I wanna take my kids out of school. It's none of their business, you know. So,
I love that.
so yeah, I think like you're saying, Chelsea, over time as you're doing it, you get better, and then you also learn how to respond. You educate yourself about even the concerns that they are raising. You educate yourself, and then you know how to respond
That's
to
a
that.
big thing, knowing what to say back to them. Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you're new, when you're a beginner, you're not confident enough to say, you know what, actually, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
Because of this and this and this.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
And then Chelsea, I'm enjoying this so much. Thank you so much. And I think people are also learning a lot from you. Okay, now, Chelsea, if you were to speak to yourself when you were getting started, what would you say to yourself?
So I think the first thing is relax.
Calm down.
Relax. You are doing enough. You may be doing a little too much. You know, relax, calm down. Your 3-year-old doesn't need to learn Spanish. You know, we'll get there. But yeah, it's just, you do get into this bit of a thing where you're like, oh, but this person is doing this and this person is doing that, and let's do this and this. And then you're like, well, the day isn't long enough for us to do all of it. So yeah, I think that's the first thing. Breathe and figure out what it is that you want to focus on and what's important for you. And I think, once you've found how your child learns, so my oldest daughter, she's a reader. She basically taught herself to read. I feel like I did it, but really she taught herself. And that's how she learns. She just reads. She'll pick up a fact book on, I don't know, frogs, and she'll read it, and then for 4 weeks she'll just be throwing out facts about frogs. And she loves that, and she loves to sit and fill in worksheets, and so that's her. And then my other daughter, she does not like to read. She likes to do stuff with her hands. She likes to put things together and figure stuff out. So like once you figured that out, you know what style of learning you want to do, and your motto and your life goal for your homeschool, you know. You know, what kind of homeschool family do you want to be? What your main focus is? We want to be simple. We want to be happy. You know, and then you can just start cutting out all the extra distractions. You can appreciate when you see on Instagram other moms are doing this and that. Appreciate that and take inspiration. But you don't have to also do that.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. I hear you. And that's, I think I mentioned earlier that I love the Montessori approach. But you know, when I see all those expensive toys, I'm like,
That's the
there's no way. Like, there's no way I'm going to pay that amount. I love the philosophy behind it and all the skills and everything from it. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to go and buy what everyone is buying on Instagram or everyone is buying on Pinterest. I like that. You said relax, you know, relax, and you're taking all these things that you're going to observe and you're going to see these things if only you relax and you just breathe in and out, okay? Now, Chelsea, if you were to speak to your kids when you were getting started, what would you say to them?
Be prepared. Be patient.
So if I'm right,
she's getting there. But yeah, I would probably, I mean, they were too small. They were 3 and 1 when I started, so we didn't really have a conversation. I would probably tell them, you know, we're going to go on this adventure as a family and see how it goes. Because even from the beginning, I said, you know, I'm open to putting them in school if I feel like I get to the point where we need to do that. And I still believe that it's an option. It's our fallback plan if we need it. But we're on this journey where we're going to learn together. and we will eventually figure it out, because even from the beginning I knew, okay, I did this, I didn't love it, let's try this, let's try that. And I think it does feel a little bit like you have no clue what you're doing when you get started. But you figure it out. It gets easier.
Now, Chelsea, I think we're almost done, almost. Now, if we were to speak to someone who's at like a crossroad, they're not sure whether they should send their kids to school, traditional school, or they should homeschool, what would you say to that person?
I think it's such a personal choice for people. Because to homeschool, you have to be prepared for that. You have to be willing to be there and to show up every day in that role. It's not I don't think any of us make the decision to homeschool our kids because we're like, oh, you know, I just don't feel like driving them to school today.
Yeah.
Stay home and school. There's a reason, like, we all have a why. We all like, you know, our child maybe is the kind of child that needs a lot of individual attention, or we've just decided that as a family we want to be free to be able to travel the country while we're learning. Everyone has a different reason for doing it, and I think if you're not sure which way to go, you just need to sit with yourself for a while and figure out why you want to do it, and if the sacrifices and all of that required are worth it for you, because it isn't the easy road.
True.
I feel like we don't just like to do this because it's going to be
no, that's true. I think it's easier, you know, choosing one school and just sending them.
Yeah, they need to figure out for themselves why they're thinking of homeschooling, and hopefully it's not like become a fashion trend and that people are actually considering, okay, I'm going to have to be responsible to make sure that my kid learns these things. And we're going to have to consistently show up. Am I able
and that's
to
a big responsibility.
It is, and it can be heavy on the homeschooler. So I think you need to know your why. You need to know it's also, you know, do you have anything particularly against being in school? If you're fine for your kids to be in school, if you can afford it, you know, do what makes sense for you and your family. It's not a decision you can make for someone else.
Unfortunately, it's like one of the things you have to make it for yourself. And like you're saying, because it can be so overwhelming at times. And imagine now if someone made that decision for you, because you go back to say, Chelsea, you said that she did it. Now I'm figuring out. So I like what you're saying, that personal decision, and you need to know why you want to do it. Chelsea, it's been amazing. Like, I've enjoyed talking to you so much, and I'm sure I'm going to have you in future lives when we talk about different topics. Chelsea, before I let you go, how do you take pictures? Chelsea has pictures with her daughters. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like, I really loved your pictures with your daughters.
Thank you so much. We just use a tripod and a timer, and we take like 100 photos, and then there's like 3 good ones in there.
No, I love that.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, unfortunately, I take the kids, not me. Chelsea, now someone who said, I've met Chelsea today and they want to follow your journey. You know, you've shared so much, and I really appreciate everything that you have shared. I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate you sharing your experience, and it's almost like you opening your home, really, you know, and sharing this with us. And Chelsea, when I started, I needed you. I needed to hear what you just said today, you know. So I believe that there will be a lot of families that will be assisted by just watching these lives, and they will learn a lot from you. How do people get hold of you, Chelsea?
Thank you so much for all the nice things. I think that all the Instagram homeschool moms, I think all of us like just openly sharing and being honest. It's an amazing thing just to be able to see like one day a mom will post how they had a bad day and this happened. And you're like, oh yes, I've been there. I think it's a great thing. So it's just my homeschool journey at the moment. It's just this Instagram account. It's especially for our homeschooling. And then my girls did have a YouTube channel where they would do videos. It's linked on this account, but we haven't done it in a long time because it was very labor intensive for mom to edit these videos and get them up on YouTube. But they've been begging me to start it up again, so we'll see if that happens.
Oh, that's nice. I would love to see that. Would love to see that. So what's the name of their channel?
I think it's just Kessia and Vanna Miller, but I'm not sure. I think the link is on my profile though. On your profile. And your Instagram handle? It's learning_with love. Beautiful. Learning with love. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I love your show. I love your energy. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Like I said, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your time. And I'll make sure that I put the links for those people who will be catching up on YouTube. I'll put Chelsea's links on the description box so you guys can just click in there. Go follow her, show her some love. She took her time. I think it's more than an hour now. She's almost an hour. She took her time to be here with us, and she was patient even when we had technical issues. So go show her page love. Our learning with what? How? Where's my brain? Your hand like learning with love. Sorry, learning with love. I don't know what happened. I had that blown moment, but anyways, it's learning with love. Go show her some love. And Chelsea, I will have you again some other time. But I really enjoyed this talk. And guys, thank you so much. If you missed this live, if you're only joining now, because I see there are people joining. Hi guys, we see you. Very insightful. And Mandy is waving. Topsa is waving. Hi, Mama Klaba. Hello. And then who else? Very insightful. What else? Thank you so much, ladies. On Togo is saying thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. So if you missed this live, I will make it available on my YouTube channel. It's thandaxaba. I'll make it available on Tuesday, so you guys can catch up and watch everything and watch until the end. Leave beautiful comments for myself and Chelsea, and then I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for your time. I love you all. Thank you so much for taking time to join and to watch this live if you are watching it, on YouTube. And then I'll see you guys on the following live. Next week, we're talking how we manage time. Chelsea talked about a lot of things today, like you can use that curriculum in this and this and that. But now, how do you manage time? These people need to eat. You still need to bath these people. You still need to do all these things for the kids, right? So next week, that's what we'll be talking about. But I will post on the reels, on stories, on my feed. I'll let you guys know on what we're talking about. Chelsea, it's been amazing. I love you so much. And I love you, everyone. I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you very much, Tanda. Bye-bye. Bye.